Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, riveting, and amazing Propagandacast from your host, Imperial Dane, the one and only Master Propaganda Hero Site Defender of the Fatherland, off to a 1v1. Oh, you guessed it. It is crossing the western north. It is Devm himself fighting here for the German army. Deutschland here with the 3rd Panzerjaeger Division. In the south, it is Pax Ajax.
On the field.
Fighting for freedom, democracy, and liberty here with the US 45th Infantry Division and Advanced Infantry versus Devm's Panzerjaeger with early mine ability they're picked. And as always, a big hearty thanks to my patron supporters for the continued generous and wonderful support of the Propagandacast. Keeps making all these wonderful videos possible, and a big thanks for commenting and liking other videos. Helps out immensely with the YouTube algorithms. Gets them spread out the video further, and of course, keeps the cat from biting off my fingers. So we're off. Here we got jeeps for Pax, bikes for Devm. First shots fired. Here's the scout squad. Scouts out. The Panzer Pioneers of their attack. And Ted neatly goes down first here. Got the jeep joining in. Righteous is the scout. The scout taking too many losses for them to really be able to fight on. Pax Ajax wise enough withdraws. We're going to wrap on the way up north. Back push back when he uses the charge up with the grease guns. West side has basically been abandoned by both players in the foot of the east here. Devm about to lose his Panzer Pioneers, but no! Oh, he does get the wipe! He does get the wipe right before finish. Time of closing time. A single shot goes past everything and knocks out the Panzer Pioneer. That was some absurd luck there. More Panzer goes there for Devm, but already lost an early game unit in the first 2 minutes of the game. Not great even remotely, and he's not really like making any gains for it. Definitely a hell of a start there to the German side. Rifleman in catching the bike, yourself repairing while in contested territory. Bold move there by Devm. If he loses the bike here, he's gonna lose the bike, isn't he? We got the bike crew just gets away this time around. Close call though. What a close call. Absurdly close, and he doesn't have a great way of repairing it. So close to getting the jeep, but then again, Pax is going engineers nearby. We got another article for Pax Ajax, freedom, democracy, and liberty. Bike racing westwards, going to the west side, which again is pretty much ignored by side otherwise. Something, and I don't like it. Light support company for Devm. We'll have to see how he tries to get out of this mess. But
we have riflemen taking the field.
Bit of wire here, looking of course to wire off the truck, so Devm can't use it in future engagement with his infantry. Thumbs up. Got the barbed wire for Mr. Pax Ajax, champion of freedom, democracy.
That's our number, boys.
Bike's got the munitions support, needs to get out of there before the Americans spot it and shoot it up. I think Devm might be planning it for some assault grenadiers. I think for something with a bit more oomph here. There you go, do in fact get assault grenadiers out of Devm.
Rangers are available to take to the field.
What are you doing, cat? Ah, he just almost knocked over the keyboard. Anyway, so the west side of your punch being swarmed here. Pax Ajax so far leading quite well, putting tariffs on every bit of the German economy on this map so far. But they continue to be in heavy need of repairs and maintenance. Cut-off points being severed, denying Crossy, Devm precious fuel, back to another fuel point. Absolutely brutal opening so far to Pax Ajax against Devm. Devm really not in a great spot there. Bike able to self-repair again. Got the assaulters been going to have to defend the fuel point there, but it's going to be too late before they can actually stop it, meaning that will be rendered neutral here. Pax just really leading here strongly. Third round squad hit. Scouts getting mowed down by the assault grenadiers here. Puts it wide behind Pax. Pax apparently took up with his plans elsewhere. Possibly gloating. Realizes it's too late. The scouts have got absolutely perfect, but he gets the bike in return. Certainly getting vengeance. Then Devm actually places this bike in a highly rare move that you typically don't see out of a lot of DAK players. Devm continues to fight despite an opening I think many other players would have probably just bailed out on.
point is at the enemy.
Not Devm, no sir. Pax almost says the sports in the ready here. Panzer Pioneer there for Devm, definitely going to be a very good investment. Fuel points there being a neutral. Grabbed in the name of democracy. At least he's got the cutoff point here, which will help slow down Pax Ajax's economy. He's got the weapons portion on the way. Half tanks from the 30, kills and bazooka teams on the way most likely.
Crates of grenades are on their way to us.
That Rangers is selected as his first ability, though whether or not he goes for the Rangers right away is, of course, an entirely different matter. In particular, Pax Ajax does tend to be a bit slow to go for the Rangers, even like he likes going for them. He just seems to always go for them pretty late, if ever.
They have taken our victory point.
Got anything else for us?
Got Panzer teams there for Devm. Obviously concerned about the Greyhounds and whatnot out of Mr. Pax Ajax. Ultimate gives a smoke here to base the force right now to get closer or back off. Sharp play there with Devm, thumbs up. Set control wise again, he is definitely behind. Unit wise, he is also behind. Gives himself a lot of wipes. I mean, he's still been able to do damage here to Pax, but it's come at a cost. And we got the Panzerjaeger out clearly here. Devm is thoroughly concerned about, you know, half tracks of Greyhound here, which could really put Devm in a terrible spot if he doesn't have like the counters ready.
Territory sector claimed by the enemy.
So that is well done. We got grenades though here. Oh, grenades on half track. And down it goes. More grenades. So many grenades on Pax Ajax. Almost getting another wipe on Devm. What? He gets another wipe.
It's gotta be quicker than slow.
What on earth? Like, Devm has already suffered like significant casualties. We're not even 10 minutes into the game. Is this actually Devm or is this just Van Ivan pretending to be Devm? Bike versus Route 40 in the west has to withdraw the bike pretty quickly. The Route 400 getting down. East side, they jeep right next to mine, except it's an American mine. And Devm spotted it with this Panzer Pioneer there. Have to go into the M3. West side, the heavy fan going Route goes the bike here. CoH3. They got the Panzer Pioneer there. Panzer Pioneers would take some of the more elite units in a Panzer Grenadier Division or Panzer Division. So typically have to fulfill the role not just engineer troops but assault troops. Little fun fact there.
M3 half track.
Panzerjaeger's assault grenades move here. Gun MD-34 there for Devm. And there you go, M3 half track out there for Pax Ajax.
Commander, it's done.
Of course, with that one. MD-34 there, almost done for Devm.
Point is being claimed. Initializing battlefield
M3 half-tracks primarily used by the US forces. They did make a lot of other versions of the half-tracks here, but some like the M5, which were overall less well protected, but typically useful in lease.
No longer under our control.
And that to the Soviets and to the British. There you go, half-track dive again. Panzer might be able to get a grenade here. Should buy here Devm a bit of time maybe with the half-track, but no, doesn't get it off still. He has actually been able to seize the west side now, so Devm, he's slowly crawling his way into this fight. And there you go, we do get ranges there for Pax Ajax. Forcing the Panzers to retreat. Well, we do have an enemy foe preventing further break for release there by Pax. Really nasty stuff. The ambulance for Devm. Thumbs up. Keep ringing about.
Enemy control.
Enemy infantry.
There we go, Panzerjaeger knocking out the Jeep. Beautiful hit there for Devm. Vessel going meow. There you go, he's trying to go for the cutoff point, quickly thwarted by an MD-34 team. Route squad about to carry the Panzer. They actually got Paxi going for more scouts. A bit uncommon. Not rare, to be honest. Not because there's like any value, but typically, like, you know, the first of the match, you just want more combat units and not so much scouts. That said, There's a point having like Pacific teams, so they can cloak and all that. Having the scouts is going to, I think, pay off there for Pax, in particular. Devm goes for more of them. You really want a chance, like, to be able to spot these bastards before they, like, you know, drop several rockets out of an unexpected angle on your tanks and vehicles. There you go, grenades all off here. Full fire to steal Hankan out of there. Chuck the retreating rifleman.
He's dead!
Advanced weapon. We have infantry standing by, Commander.
Rangers swing about there with the Thompsons.
Enemy in control of all victory points.
Assault gun is ready, and there you go. Anti-tank half ready as well for Pax Ajax. Pardon, the assault gun is good shot. They're doing a lot of damage. Needs following up here. West side, American forces making steady progress again. Devm really not having a lot of use in the field. Really does make it hard for him to like maintain any strong map control here.
We have holes in our front line.
And one does wonder how exactly intend to get out of this situation as it currently stands. They go even south of charge here on the MG-34. Almost wiping that one as well. Some immense pressure. There we go. We do get the flak feeling half to here. Definitely can turn the tide around with that one there.
Territory secure. No contact.
And Pax Ajax, as he's currently sort of stands, will be a bit sorely pressed. They're not complete defensive with the anti-tank half-track, and Pax does like to go for multiple anti-tank half-tracks. So it's not impossible that Devm's flak feeling half-track may not quite gain the traction he might always hope for here versus Pax Ajax. And of course, it is worth noting, current use of metagame in 1v1s definitely likes having like two of these. Actually, they're common, so. We will have to see how well that flak feeling half-track actually does here versus Pax Ajax.
We've lost the territory
Still,
sector.
anti-tank half-track can do a lot of damage to your flak feeling half-track.
Leave him!
The Germans did have sort of anti-tank half-tracks as well, though until very late in the war, a lot of these were basically my solutions, like for example this type of half-track with a Pack 38 pointing forwards, but they're not very armoured. That was actually, for example, one version. There'd also be other improvised solutions. For example, the 21st Panzer Division, a bunch of armoured French half-tracks, basically converted armoured French half-tracks, with Pack 40s mounted on the back of them. Little fun fact there you go, Panzer chip going here for the anti-tank half-track. The Packs having no infantry support, it does, you know, have to withdraw it here, so it will become crucial due to the Panzerjaeger team until you can get rid of it, to keep his anti-tank half-tracks at least somewhat covered, because otherwise he does run the risk of, like, you know, Devm just running up and firing a rocket into it.
We have ammunition surplus, Commander.
Map control-wise here, Devm is holding out
They've pushed us off a sector.
ferociously and stubbornly. Another bike for Devm. I think that's his, like, third bike. It kind of feels like a record for a 1v1 match, like just 3 bikes.
Territory sector claimed by the enemy.
Here we are.
MG waiting on you. Incoming!
Also got a 30 cal there ready for Pax Ajax. Got the Ranger buff there.
Top 42!
We'll have to see if he does end up with more Rangers. Wouldn't be impossible here. Brabham going there straight for Beeline. There you go, and Ranger squad flanking up behind here. Devm not immediately treating the MG-34. Definitely feels like a big error here. But Pax not focusing down the MG-34 also feels like another error there. Out of Pax, like, you gotta wipe that MG-34. Does get the Panzer Pioneers, but almost had the Panzerjaegers too. But again, I feel like grabbing the MG-34 would have been a much bigger win there for Pax, honest. Devm not. Oh, like wipe stuff here. There's the Rangers retreating there. For some reason, my brain just kind of like, wait. Anyways, yeah, the Rangers, I feel like missed opportunity to take out that MG-34 team, though. Big miss there by Pax Ajax here. Another half-track on the way there. Also end up committing the anti-tank half-track. West side here, though, Devm clearly exploiting the mistake he made, but Pax to just swoop into the west side, grabbing up territory here. Thumbs up. Very sharp response. He definitely have some players who can't really, like, you know, leverage, like, any, like, when they make tactically. It's like, you know, quickly, you know, branch out into, like, fast map control. But Devm clearly does not have that issue. But again, it's definitely, I think, one of the rarer skills in the company whose community from my experience. 2 thumbs up, Devm.
No contact.
Anti-tank, flak feeling half to being repaired.
We got the tools.
Half-track deploying, as ordered.
I'll have to run in towards the end of the war to continue the anti-tank half-track discussion. They did, you know, get a version of the 250 half-track with a Pack 40 mounted in the back, but that was sort of like late 1944-45 stuff. And as it turned out, the 250 half-track's suspension couldn't really handle it, so like after enough shots, it just break down. But at that stage of the war, the Germans were less concerned about the half-tracks breaking down and just about, you know, having enough self-propelled anti-tank weapons. So, little fun fact there. Several fun facts, of course, combined into one bigger fun fact. You know, like a fun fact burger. Anti-tank half there, slamming into the flak feeling half-track there. Almost got it there. Devm sort of making a nice comeback despite, you know, again, a pretty harsh opening here. But certainly has been helped, I think, by, again, Pax Ajax, you know, making a few critical tactical errors. They're missing out on some bigger opportunities, like, again, getting that MG34. Pax bringing in more MGs on his own. Browning 30 cal. Rangers of Actions 1. He could, of course, still consider going for more Rangers, but maybe feeling a bit of a manpower squeeze there. Bit surprised, actually, we haven't seen him go for, like, more anti-tank half-tracks. But it could very well be here that Pax is, like, you know, planning to go for the tank depot eventually in the near future, and so doesn't want to, like, commit to too many anti-tank half-tracks. Have to say, obviously. And there you go, Rangers on deep flank here. This time, almost getting him for flak feeling half. Oh, he does get it! But again, assault grenadiers, flak feeling half-track, panzer grenadiers, means here. The Pax just can't get the machine gun here out of Devm's hands. In fact, his Rangers are close to being almost completely taken out there. Following him with the Panzerjaeger, assault grenadiers, the panzer grenadiers, and there you go. Crewing the MG34. Good save there by Devm. So, Devm striking back hard here. Pax Ajax definitely a bit discombobulated after recent developments. And there you go. Devm actually ends up taking head now of Pax Ajax, going for the Panzer Army Commando. Whereas Pax just doesn't reach the tank depot. So, really nice turnaround here by Devm. Really nice. In fact, he can almost immediately go for a Panzer feet. Done. Pretty impressive, the work there by Devm turning the situation around against Pax Ajax. 2 thumbs up.
Sector gone.
And now Pax may end up needing a lot of bazookas or anti-tank half-tracks, like really withstand what's going to come next his way. He has with MP40 building assault grenadiers here. MG34 prime supported grenades shot. Good grenade there out of Pax Ajax.
Crowd infantry!
They pushed us off a sector.
Got the Rangers closing in. Anti-tank half-track ultra rushing forward, going for the ambulance, but the segment bit of the flak feeling. Half-track there. Ooh, nice shooting there with the arm. Got the Rangers picking up bazooka in hand here. Gets the ambulance. Pax Ajax, of course, there, channeling the inner American dream and knocking out the ambulance. Yeehaw, boys, we did it! Took out the ambulance. We're gonna be heroes back home. They'll build statues of us. Make movies. Movies? Yeah, they'll just, you know, change it out to be a tank. But, you know, everyone will know. Panther 3 on the way there for Devm. The Panzerkampfwagen 3 ausführung.
Beginning research. Further training will improve the survivability of our infantry in the field.
Oh, gets the incident capture with a sneaky penetrate from the rear again. Devm here, definitely quite adept at sneaking past Pax Ajax infantry here to just knock out his precious stuff.
Take it.
That's us, boys. Get your gear ready.
Got the Sug upgrades there for Pax.
Mine's planted.
Mines all being laid down. Thumbs up.
Research completed, Commander.
Fill in those bags.
Spot here.
Survival training course is complete.
There you go. Panzer III Model L here ready for Devm and Deutschland. Range move, good shape for the Panzers. The Panzer III moving up here. Ambulance halfway down there for Devm. Range down to 4 men. Panzer's about to get wiped out. Down touch what Devm's doing here. Such a close call here. Might be hoping to use them as bait, obviously, and in which case, looks like it did work, but this could have gone so poorly there for Devm. Not a risk I'd recommend taking. But now, Devm is about to take out Pax Ajax one and only Ranger Squad, or Ranger Section. It's going to train by British commanders, at least the sort of first unit of them, which is service in the Mediterranean, actually apparently used British terminology, which did mean they were technically assault sections.
Now under enemy control.
Little fun fact there.
Commander, we've secured the point.
Scouts routed, Panther III moving about here. Almost got the scout team here with the Panzer comes back light and white as well. Devm getting vengeance from the early game. Another half take off for Pax Ajax. Bit late there, feel like.
Captured a victory point.
And we also got the anti-tank watchability here for Devm. Not that it's probably going to end up being, at least for now, particularly relevant, but he does have it. There you go, second M3 anti-tank half going there for Pax Ajax. To stand off against Devm and the German war machine.
Our territory's cut off from supply. Reconnect with it. The territory point is no longer under our control.
Enemy flank 5 Panzers moving forward, MD setting up here, Bravo Squad setting up there. Another half track almost done.
Territory lost.
Second half track here for Pax Ajax. Good between there, go getting too close here, getting hit with an anti-tank grenade. Devm's Panther's going to go in here, try and finish it off. Or not. Pax flooding quite a few command points. They're not really doing much with regard to the second anti-tank half track on the way there for Mr. Pax Ajax. Out. As going for the hand because he's being a naughty kitty. I guess because someone didn't like or comment enough on videos according to his
Victory point
likings.
is under attack. We must act.
312 is the 327. They want to stop the half tracks to get properly repaired
Victory
there.
point has fallen into enemy control.
Another Ranger Squad here ready for Pax Ajax. Those again the Panzerjaeger, or Panzerjaeger, like technically get rid of them, that'd be huge here, down to 1 man. And he gets them. No Panzer strike though here for Pax Ajax. Gets the 250 half track Panzerjaeger's popping out here. No Panzer strike on the way for them. Pack 38 here on the way for Devm, clearly wanting something
Resources cut off.
more serious to counter the anti-tank half tracks, and also something they may struggle a bit there if they say pop the barrels a bit too carelessly, like for example around here. So we'll have to see.
One of our munitions points is being neutralized.
There you go, an American advance up for here, quickly thwarted. No attempt to, like, for example, flank around here, catch them like off guard from a different angle. Feels a bit like Pax Ajax here might be transitioning versus Devm just a tiny bit. Another scout team for Pax Ajax. They'll be using that to find a way out of this mess. There we go, the Panther spot by the German team, half rushing forward, got Panzerjaegers on the flank here, still no Panther strike. Pack clearly not giving a toss, he's diving in with the half tracks. Pack 38 ready here. Both half tracks down. Massive blow there to Pax Ajax.
down to
not
300
much to
points.
show for it at that stage.
Scout squad
That
is
was
ready and able.
definitely not an ideal move there by Pax Ajax, to put it gently. Tesla agrees. Meanwhile, Devm with armed reserves on the way there.
We have infantry standing by,
Pax
Commander.
finally starting to expend a bit of the effort there towards the rest of the map here versus opponent. Another half-track on the way there. Honestly, a bit surprised we haven't seen like any bazooka teams, considering you did upgrade bazookas
They have taken our victory point.
for the better versions, so a few bazooka teams could be a worthwhile investment here for Pax Ajax versus Devm. And of course, we'll have to see what does Devm go for with armor reserves with Panther 4, Stooks, or will he actually try and go for the Tiger tank, which could give Pax Ajax enough wiggle room to like maybe get the game on his favor. They almost got the infantry for this time around. Thompson's there, laying down hay, 5 Panzer Pioneers going out. He's in trouble.
Nav track deploying, as ordered.
Commander, we're done here.
Scouts!
Scouts poking out the west side.
Captain here, what have you got? Location captured.
166 to 325.
Incoming! Get the cover!
Rangers routed.
Done!
Got the half track on the move, and there go flak feeling down here. 5 Panther 3 falling up. 30 cal here in deep and intense trouble with the flak feeling its core. Filling in autocannons. Pax Ajax finally getting some bazooka teams on the way there. It certainly took a bit of a while to get there.
A victory point has fallen into enemy control.
Captain, taking ahead!
In the east, Captain there were outdone by German Panzerjaeger. Pax almost has the bazooka team ready. Flak filling here, covering the main road. Excellent people do so.
Flags are cut off. We have
Got the
moved
half
to
track
the
that's
front
going
line.
ahead, but the Pax Brigade was an even better hit. Certainly only complicating matters here for Pax Ajax. But I think does need to like reconsider his overall approach here versus Devm, but at the same time with the cutoff point currently being held here, you know, he's definitely left with a bit of a tough choice because he'd have to basically give all of this up, and he probably isn't psychologically quite keen on that. He'd rather see if he can't get the cutoff point back so he doesn't have to like get, so he can just get all this reconnected rather than just downside punch through the east and then, you know, getting everything connected up that way. Or you could try and like sneak up through here and get behind, you know, get him that way. So we can see him quickly thwarted here. We've got 250, 15. Another bike down there for Devm. Quite a few bikes he's lost.
Crowds are pushing us back. We're down to 250.
249 here. Devm's lead over Pax Ajax continues to build up here. Pax though finally committing to a more aggressive push eastwards here. And finally realized, like, you know, he needs to do something elsewhere. And we got Devm with this 4th. Like, what on earth? You really don't see, like, DAK players go for this many bikes
Sector's been open.
at this level of
Victory point
play.
is under attack. We must act.
So, very interesting move there by Devm. Entering half-tech shoots a fantastic miss there.
Victory point is under
Oh,
enemy
there we
control.
go. The double bazooka hits plus entering half-tech here. Almost got the Panther 3, but Devm will be able to get away with it. Almost got it. He's so close. Pack 38 being brought in. The flag filling into block as well here. Very good move. And the bazooka team being held up here by the MP-34. And the half-track down. Pax loses another anti-tank half-track. Devm's really got the screws on Pax Ajax now. What a turnaround after an otherwise incredibly rough start there. I mean, 2 thumbs up. I mean, Devm just had all the odds stacked against him and somehow he still managed to like turn around here. And now Pax Ajax, meanwhile, despite still having a larger force, is considerably struggling more here versus his opponent. That is some quite impressive play there.
Go to pull on this position.
Motor pool for Pax.
One of our
Like
sectors
the
is now in
anti-tank
enemy
guns,
hands.
this is something with a bit of range against a blast opponents like vehicles. Go for like a Greyhound at this stage. Certainly would be a bit of a surprise.
Enemy tank! We need support!
As for Devm, it does feel like he might be aiming for the Tiger tank here, the Tiger. There you go, ace flak filling half tank, going at it once more. 225 is between him 10. West side range squad captain the Panzerjaeger here with the Thompsons, letting loose. The Chicago typewriters there. Oh, baited him into the mines there. Evie is played by Devm and Pax Ajax never saw it coming.
We've lost a scout squad.
Scouts down in the east.
Defend our victory point.
Pax
We're losing
encountering increasingly more difficulties as the match goes on here, as Devm just continues to just roll around him now, running almost at
They
times
have
in
taken our
circles.
victory point.
Metaphorically speaking, that is.
Enemy movement near a victory
Grabbing the
point.
northeastern points here. 225 is 3 and 4. Devm slowly building the gap up with those up over his opponent.
They've captured a victory point.
Devm very close to the Tiger tank, and I think once he gets that's going to be very much it here for Pax. I mean, does have a second position out there, plus an incoming anti-tank gun, but depending how well just Devm supports the Tiger tank and uses it, it's going to be very tough, I think, for Pax Ajax like significant deal with it, because Devm so far, I think, shown himself to be a pretty sharp player in terms of, outmaneuvering his opponent, for example, and not just fully relying on brute force, whereas Pax definitely has been relying a lot more on just, brute force attacks, and then of course when there's haven't quite worked out for him, he really has like suffered significantly from it. So we'll have to see, but I will say, at least for me, it looks like just Devm at this point holding all the cards. Oh, good. Yes. There you go, Sugar Force joining in there, almost knocking out the Panther in its entirety in the center. Flak filming up here. Flak after. Rangers setting off S mines. There you go, Tiger tank out from the 508th Schwerer Panther Abteilung, 3rd Schwerer Panzer Kompanie. Another interesting there for Pax. I mean, he basically doesn't have much of an option there. He has to go for one to take weapons.
Down to 200 points.
1 points left as the Tiger tank advances. Starting there a bit of quiet for now.
Enemy movement near a victory point.
There you go, Tiger tank on the move. And Pax just has no, sufficiently dense defenses in the center. He's like, I think,
Captured a victory
really
point.
hold it back with an anti-tank on eastly, and there's like Devm plays more conservatively here. Which so far it does appear like still Pax taking no chances, which I do think is wise here. Pulls back the anti-tank in a bit here. West side, Devm Swans will broken through here.
Killed in action.
And there you go, Tiger tank with a single shot clears out the entire group, which is
Our opponent
fairly accurate. In fact,
was under their control.
typically during the Second
Now.
World War, if an anti-tank crew was
Contact.
spotted,
Capture
it was
point is being
typically
overrun.
also very much toast. Like, gun shield didn't really provide significant protection from like direct hit from a tank. They were very much relying on just getting off the first shot and, no survivors.
Sector lost. No contact.
Last squad taking a massive hit. Rangers coming for the anti-tank half-track here. Second anti-tank moving up there. Panther in the flank. Didn't get hit with anti-tank self-charge very close. Call, I think, there for Devm. 157 is 302 here. Now also Devm's actually managed to take here Pax in just terms of pure force size. So this is, I think, really we're just things are starting to heavily unhinge here for Pax Ajax.
Make it quick, huh?
Bassett wants some attention and probably some food, but basically we never recorded the episode.
Reports of enemy movement near our victory point.
74 was 117. Like to be prepared.
Victory
Got the
point
Panzer
is fallen
Pioneer
into
as the
enemy
captain.
control.
Followed by a Panda Fleet that is a very easily one engagement for the Germans. Super Team's Rangers rather than moving westwards. Anti-tank, splitting off the Rangers here. Tiger tank once more rolling ahead. We've got a machine team there in this nice little building now. About to take heavy hits, and Rangers there versus the flak feeling.
Territory out of
Back to the
supply.
main gunship to take out the half tech. That is fairly sturdy and spongy there with the all the veterans.
All victory points are under enemy control.
Almost had their close call with the Propaganda machines about to get wiped out here. Pax about to sell for a while. Again, these two slugs retreat here, and that entire building collapses, entombing the machine gun team there. For future historians to confuse themselves over.
Territory secure. No contact.
Well, clearly what we're seeing here is an ancient American ritual,
We have 100
which
points
they
remaining.
bury their dead. Well, as to the exact meaning behind the ritual, we're not entirely sure.
We've lost an anti-tank gun.
Rangers going for the flank here on the Tiger. 89 there, versus 2. Clark racing against Pax Ajax, putting up a desperate fight here, but Devm and Deutschland remains firmly opposed to any ideas of American comeback
Anti-tank gun
here.
is out of action.
Anti-tank crew once more utterly expunged
We
here
have anti-tank crews reporting
in
in.
the face of this pixelated earth, and then almost got the Ranger squad as well here. Switching on the flank here. West side here, Panther fleet coming in, got grenades off here. Another anti-tank gun down here. Pax has got more on the way, but not been good from. I mean, Devm needs to go for another Panther riding one to the Stukas at first. Honestly, I think both would be excellent choices for him for
We must act.
various reasons. 71 versus 2. Pax Ajax putting up a brave fight, but not looking in. There go Devm with another Panther in the way, and we've got in butterfly bombs have been delivered.
Pushed us off a sector.
That's almost good enough for us. Get to it.
62 versus 302. Besides the S-mines, the butterfly bombs going off, there's not really much else happening. There's a bit of send of about here, but even there, like Devm is just allowing Pax to grab the center with no real resistance. Oh no! Walks off.
This is our last
Hot
stand.
move. Charging the side here, 49 now. Diving in, cutting through. Devm's flank, Panzerjaeger about to get wiped out, and there almost got the Ranger squad as well here. Doesn't matter how elite you are, you're not elite enough to survive an 88mm high explosive shell. Almost having the Tiger tank here, but it's also mentioned too here. And the situation of Pax Ajax just continues to unfold in a very unfortunate way for him. Don't forget to tank gun there. More Panther piece timing in here.
Men are faltering. We're down to 25 points.
25 points left. Bazooka teams about to go wiped out. Once he loses those bazooka teams to some of the tank guns, it's pretty much game over here for Pax.
A whole bazooka squad has been killed.
Yep, there we go. GG game over. GG game over. And that is a victory for Devm. Group fight here, like really rough start for Devm.
We're down to 10 points.
Really rough start.
We've lost a squad of riflemen at the front. We've lost our frontline engineers.
And there we go. But yeah, retreat. Good openings here, but there were definitely, I think, several times here with just Pax Ajax tactically just, you know, I think missed some great opportunities like getting rid of that early machine and seizing it, for example, but also too reliant on like just brute force head-on attacks instead of like trying to outflank and catch Devm off guard. I think really didn't do like Pax Ajax, I think, a lot of favors, and it's with those kind of situations that Devm was just able to like beautifully exploit and turn against Pax Ajax. That way gain the lead, and once he got into the lead, Devm, of course, was much better able to play to that lead instead of just wasting it like Pax Ajax. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. You'll learn something from it. This is Imperial Cheers, and see you all tomorrow for another episode. Bye, everyone.